Hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett, and a new face on Say Hey Plays. A tired little boy because it is 8 a.m. over on the West Coast, and it's nice to see his smiling face. I'm surprised he hasn't brought out my hoodie yet already. I will admit, I'm surprised that has not been brought out yet. It's picks from Dave. Dave, how are you? I like your lamp back there, a little color changing back there too. Look at you. Oh, it's your mic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Big Show and I have the same mic, but I'm doing well. And your sweatshirt has been torn up. The one that's left, or the one that I can find, has been torn up by my dog. So,
oh no, son of a bitch!
no more razzing about that.
Fuck, I was really trying to get that back too. Son of a.
Sorry
bitch.
about that.
It's all right. It's all right. At least it went to a good cause, you know. Your dog's enjoyment is much more important than my sweater. I can tell you that. But we have a good show coming up for people. It's going to be a lot of fun talking about this card. Kind of a shit card, kind of not. We'll see how we can make money today and continue this gradual climb out of the hole. I've been having success with one thing and one thing alone, and that is fading those fucking Pirates. So I'm going to eventually do that. And as I say that, I just remember I told Nutflush that I would make a lower it or a sink it video for him, and I have to do that still, not flush. So that'll be a lot of fun. Dave, would you like to hear what I'm doing today after the show?
I'd love nothing more.
And by the way, a happy Mother's Day to everyone. We should say that as well. But I have another podcast to record at 2. And there's going to be a wrestler there. I was going to call him professional wrestler, but he's not WWE, so I don't know if that counts. And I'm going to take a chop to the chest here in a couple of hours.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not excited about it, but I actually am a little excited about it because it'll be a little funny.
Well, you do you, bro.
Well, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So you guys can tune into that. That'll be happening live over Pub Culture TV today. So tune in there. Let's talk about all these games, Dave, and of course, MLB hates mothers, so they just went ahead and put a 10:35 start, an early as fuck start for everyone. Guardians, Angels, so you can just start off the day watching baseball and ignoring your mother immediately. We've got Patrick Sandoval versus Tanner Bybee, not Bibby, Bybee. I have to keep telling myself that because every time I look at his name, I call him Bibby. Both these teams have been, well, I shouldn't say both these teams. The Guardians have really been struggling hitting-wise recently, and then last night, of course, they just kind of explode for their offensive performance for the week. So I don't want to back them. I definitely leaned Angels last night. I was like, -10 each way. What is this going to happen? And then I wake up this morning. It's already moved a ton towards the Guardians. So it was a pretty easy pass for me. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the Guardians are the right side. I like Patrick Sandoval, but not enough to back him here.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm off this game completely. I like Sandoval. The Angels are my team, by the way, for better or for worse. And
you're a Lakers guy, huh?
Well, I'm a Lakers guy. I grew up in Southern California, so the only thing I'm not a Southern California fan of is NFL. I'm a Niners and Steelers fan. But I agree. This card is very meh. There's some spots I really like. There's some spots I'm thinking about, and there's other ones I'm just going to completely pass on. So maybe I'm not the best show guest, but this is one I'm going to pass on. I mean, for me, it's Angels or nothing. I can't get the Guardians right to save my life. And I'm kind of like I was talking to Sharpie last night. We were texting, and he says, I only bet 80 guys. That's all I do. I don't look for spots. I look for my guys in spots. I need to do a better job of that. So if I don't have an angle right away and try to force something, I'm not doing that. This game is just an off, and I have nothing more to say about it.
You know, shout out to the chat as always for the comments and everything. We love all the Mother's Day notes, and then shout out to any mothers that are in the chat as well. If you're watching the show on Mother's Day, that's how you know you're a real one. Let me tell you, Dave, this is maybe the comment of the season so far, Dave. Rick J saying Sandoval and Bybee went to high school together. Bybee 2 years younger. They both grew up Angels fans. Bybee has been waiting for this game. retweeted his post
Hmm.
on Twitter. Rick J. Interesting note there. Rick, are you he's going first 5 under or nothing. Honestly, Rick J, I'm a man that doesn't have to be sold on many things, and I think I'm going to move on a first 5 under just because of that right there. I love that angle of two guys going out there competing against each other because most baseball games, they're like, whatever. Let's try to get through the game healthy. Let's have a good start, and there's no extra motivation. And when there's an extra motivation factor in there, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that.
Holy crap! These guys went to Patrick Sandoval went to Mission Viejo High School, also where Matt Sanchez went to USC. Shout out Orange County, but I don't know this Bybee guy very well, but apparently he did too. So I don't know. Interesting angle.
Yeah, first 5 under for me here. I've got first 5 under 4.
Okay.
So it'll be beautiful there. I will be back for the juice on that, but let's move on real quick to Pittsburgh, Baltimore. Obviously, everyone knows what I'm going to bet on here. I'm going to be on Baltimore -1. Bet on it the last 2 days. It's cash. Just keep fading the Pirates, unfortunately, because regression came for them. I respect my guy Mitch Keller because he went out there through his first complete game of his career last time out, but I am not going to believe that he can do that again here. Big prove it start for me for him, and it's actually going to be a pretty good price for a -1 here. You can get a plus 172. Apparently, that is really nice. I guess I'm gonna have to double check. Oh no, I have a decimal fucking donkey. Let me fix that real quick.
Who do you think you are? French?
I know. I think I'm fucking wee. Apparently, maybe I'm betting horses now. Plus 126. That didn't make sense there for a hot second. So, Orioles -1. There's not much of a cap into it. We all kind of know the Pirates are regressing back to what they are, and the Orioles, I think, could be the second best, if not the best team in baseball. Who knows? This Orioles team is hilarious, so I like them. But what do you think, Dave?
Another stay off game, an interesting game. I'm not one of those guys usually that says, you're due or this trend's going to break. I usually ride the trend till it falls off, and you have a team that's been losing and the Pirates and a team that's been winning in the Orioles. Both decent pitchers. That complete game that when Keller shoved last game, that's what's taking me off of this. I almost bet the Orioles or found a way. I decided not to force it, but I definitely lean Orioles. I'm not a -1 type of guy. And also, by the way, the Orioles are also a confusing team too. I thought they might have been a team that I could get really high on. I know a lot of people that were high on them. Second best team in baseball. I don't know. I think the Orioles are TBD, but on the good side of things instead of the bad. But I guess with all that said, I don't have a play in this game. I lean towards the Orioles though.
I cannot wait to watch this Orioles team go out through the season because obviously their pitching staff has been the whole thing. It's like, who knows, blah, 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 blah. But man, I'm excited for them to make moves at the deadline, I guess, because who knows what this team's going to do. I know a pitcher in Detroit that has an option year this year, and he's been pitching real well. And he's going to be their all-star, and he used to be a Baltimore Oriole, maybe even a former Red Sox that I'm sure would really be helpful for them as well. So we'll see what happens with this Orioles squad, but Orioles for me, keep fading the Pirates. Moving on, next game, Yankees-Rays. I keep fucking betting the Rays, and the Yankees keep fucking pulling it out, man. It's so annoying. It's a frustrating experience. We'll talk about the Red Sox game, the very last game of our card, actually, and how I wanted to drive my head through a fucking barrier this last 2 days. But here's the thing. It's Rays -1 again for me here. Rays money line, Rays team total, Rays however you want to bet them, because I just don't believe in Clark Schmidt. And I do lean over as well in this game. I find the Zach Eflin experience to be very interesting because, Shout out to everyone last time out. He pitched on the road at the Orioles, and everyone was like, is he going to pitch really this well? How well is he going to do? He sucked on the road last year. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs. Not a bad start, but not a good start. I can tell you that. So I passed on the game because of pure anger of just losing on Rays and Yankees games. But it is Rays -1 again here for me.
Yeah, I have a play in this game. I'm with you. Well, first of all, Zach Eflin's home and away splits are turning. Well, it's so early in the season, but it's like a Greinke type of deal. He's good at home. He's actually almost untouchable at home. He's more than human on the road. And you've got to and Schmidt is what his name sounds like, just Schmidt. I'm on the what was that?
What does that sound like? I don't get it. What's the joke?
Shit. Schmidhead. People who have the name Schmidt, I call them Schmidheads, and I've gotten in a lot of trouble, especially in work environments and things. But he's very, I've grown up and matured, but slightly. But either way, in this game, I like the first 5 over 4.5. You have two teams that are hitting well. I should say this. The Rays are hitting right-handed pitching, period, no matter where they're at. And the Yankees at home are hitting it quite well. The WRC plus is well over 100. I know you love that number. Their isolated power is well over 180, which is top of the charts. Last 2 weeks would be where those stats came from. So I'm on the Rays Yankees first 5 over 4.5 at -115.
Yep, makes sense to me. I like the over in this game too. I'm not moving on it. And by the way, I did skip a game, and it is a kind of a confusing game, I guess, and we'll talk about it now. The Nationals and the Mets are playing yesterday's game from 1-0. So that's to finish that one. And then they're playing Scherzer, Jake Irvin. It's a very confusing process. I passed on both games, and Dave, I assume you did too.
Oh, I'm surprised you're not in the Nationals. You're one of those guys. I bet the Nationals. I've seen you bet them a bunch. I bet them twice. I've been lucky enough to hit twice. They're not a bet on team for me. First of all, Jake Irvin. Who is he? What is he doing? He's at 2 starts. Max Scherzer. Who is this guy with how bad he's been? They're going to go like this. The lines are going to intersect. This game could be it. I'm off. Fuck this game.
Yeah, I like Jake Irvin. I did consider betting the Nationals. I did indeed. I guess I'm an addict to betting the Nationals, but that's fine. I passed this game too. Fuck that.
Big Show. It's a drug rug, bro. It's a poncho. Drug rug. It's a poncho. It's a drug rug. It's not an Indian thing.
Wow, that's a good phrase for it. I didn't know that. I'm glad my mom is not up with American slang, because she would call a lot of things drug rugs that I wear. And that would hurt the ego. I'd be like, damn, Mom, you're roasting my ass right now. So shout out to her. Atlanta, Toronto here. Another series where I've just bet the Braves thinking that they're the better ball club, and the Blue Jays refuse. They just simply refuse. And we're at another day here where I want to bet the Braves for obvious reasons. I love Yusei Kikuchi to death. But unfortunately, he throws with his left hand, and anyone that throws with that side against the Braves, I just assume is going to get crushed. So I am not going to back their bullpen day bullshit, and I, kind of have to take their team total at this point. 4.5 -115. Their second full season against lefties, 147 weighted runs created plus. And by the way, I love weighted runs created plus just because I love any stat that's very easy to read. 100's average. It's great. It's great there, Dave. I'm a stupid idiot.
Most important stat when you're capping baseball on the on the offensive side of things. Most important one.
And it's easy to read. 209 this month against lefties. 105 plate appearances. So sorry, Yusei. I love you, but this might be a start where you get crushed. 4.5 -115 for the Braves. Official play for me.
I kicked this game around quite a bit. I'm off anything. I mean, I went every which way. Kikuchi to me, I mean, is a I don't know. Last year, super fade. This year, spot on. By the way, Blue Jays at home only lost 3 games. Tough spot against a Braves team that does smack the shit out of left-handed pitching. There's this thing going on with K props. where you have a pitcher like Kodai Senga the other day. I was on his K-prop. He gave up 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning, ended up smashing his K-prop. I thought this might have been a point where maybe Kikuchi got touched up, but hit his K-prop. I didn't like where the number was, especially he's only had 2 home games, but he has 8 and 9 Ks each of those games. So I'm off this game. I am going to be looking at the stat line and keeping my eye on it because this is going to be an indicator to me on where Kikuchi's going. I think if he shoves against the Braves at home here, he might be legitimate.
Yeah, and again, shout out to Dennis Garcia, who's been preaching the gospel of Kikuchi this whole year. And I've been his first mate. This is the first time I'm fading him. I don't think I even faded him against the Red Sox. So he struggled there. So it'll be interesting to see. Shout out to Nasty Nate joining us as well, who
there he is.
We'll hopefully see here in a couple of hours. So shout out to Nate.
Is he the semi-professional wrestler that's going to bitch slap you in the chest?
No, he would love to bitch slap me in the chest. I'm sure he would, and I'm sure it would hurt, but no, unfortunately not. I think he might be there for that, though, so that'll be funny for him, I'm sure. Cincinnati Reds, Miami Marlins, next game up. Braxton Garrett, Luke Weaver. Under normal circumstances, I would kind of look to back my guy Braxton Garrett here. I kind of have liked him a little bit, but he got crushed against the Braves when we kind of all knew he was going to get crushed against the Braves because he's a lefty. And then last time out against a tough Arizona Diamondbacks offense that's been just hitting the ball, I guess, this month. 4 runs there. I don't want to back him here. It's too pricey. Don't want to back the Reds, obviously, so it was an easy pass game for me.
Yeah, this is another one that I kicked around. This whole card. It's just I'm on the fence. I lean over in this game. Braxton Garrett to me is also another fade guy. But I'm minus 165 for the Marlins.
Yeah,
it's the Reds. This is I don't know written all over it. I lean to the over. I think did it come down? Wasn't it 8.5?
Yeah, I wrote it down last night at 8.5. Now at an 8.
Yeah, which makes me hate this game even more. So next.
A good way to put it there. I don't like this game either. We can move on to Seattle, Detroit. A sneaky good series. The Detroit Tigers. Big Show's Detroit Tigers putting up some damn fight for once. So excited to see that. Sucks that they're going to trade their best pitcher apparently because they kind of, I guess, know that he's going to opt out of his contract. So sucks for him. But, shout out to him, I guess. It'll be interesting what you get in the trade deadline. Joey Wentz versus Logan Gilbert here. And we talked about the Seattle Mariners early on in the year, and we were like, oh, they're only even money to make the playoffs now. Interesting. Blah, blah, blah. Are we going to back that? We all kind of stayed off. And now it seems like they're not going to make the playoffs. I'm like, oh, my goodness. Like, their offense has not just been not good enough. Their pitching is obviously fantastic, but it's a long climb in the American League because there's so many good teams, especially in the American League East. You've got fucking 2 new teams that are good in the American League West. So I honestly pass here just looking at the Seattle's numbers against lefties. Full season, they're 27, 79 weighted runs created plus. I can give them a little credit that the last 14 days, the whole month of May, 91, 117 plate appearances. So they're getting better at the very least. And Joey Wentz is not good. But he's been pitching okay enough that I can pass on this game. And I would lean first 5 under, obviously, because I think, obviously, Logan Gilbert can dominate this Tigers offense. But I don't want to pay and watch and hope that Joey Wentz can keep his shit together for the whole time. I feel like it's just like dancing on a knife edge. So I pass this game, but I lean first 5 under for sure.
I have a play in this game, but I kicked it around, and it wasn't the one that I thought I was going to take. I really wanted to get on Logan Gilbert's K-prop in this one. Detroit at home the last 2 weeks versus right-handed pitching has a horrible walk rate and a high K rate. When that happens, I start looking at the pitcher prop, but the problem is I don't like the number. I landed on Detroit team total under 3.5. For that reason, also the fact the Mariners have the best bullpen in baseball. And I agree with you. This is the 2 teams that everyone was so high on. And I'm actually more high on the other team as the Orioles and the Mariners. The Mariners were kind of like a 1-year thing. Could they have done it last year? I think the Julio Rodriguez hype was another thing. it also kind of shows you that pitching is just one part of baseball. It's the most important part of a cap, or at least a starting point. But who knows if the Mariners have the bats to keep up with a lot of those AL East teams and things like that. So I'm with you there. But in this game, I like the Tigers team total under 3.5. So -120.
Yeah, I'm starting to consider taking the full game under as well in this game. Because Jimmy mentions it, and maybe this is some Stockholm syndrome from Jimmy mentioning it, but he keeps saying that the Detroit bullpen is good and et cetera, et cetera. And there are very many times where I'm like, I don't believe you. Detroit having a good bullpen, like that's just not fathomable to me. I looked at their bullpen ERA. It's not the best, but bullpen ERA can obviously be deceiving. So I think I'm going to move on the full game under here.
Well, to help you out with your bet, the past 2 weeks their bullpen ERA is 3.3, 330. So that's actually pretty good.
Okay. Full game under 8.5, -120, official there for me. So it'll be fun. And typically a team like Detroit wants to start off with a good bullpen because we all know that they're going to trade those guys eventually. So, by the way, shout out to Sharpie in here as well. He's got Braxton motherfucking Garrett over 4.5 strikeouts, some little bit on 5.5, 10-1 on the over to this spot since last year, averaging 7.7 to 9.7 there. So shout out to Sharpie. Go watch The Walking Dead as always, Monday through Friday, and enjoy your weekend, Sharpie. Let's talk Chicago Cubs versus the Minnesota Twins here. Stroman versus Louis Varland, and on normal occasions, I feel like this is just like an automatic, like Marcus Stroman bet the Cubs bet, but Cubs offense just has not been there this month. The numbers have dropped, and Louis Varland has not been horrible. Like you would think like a guy named Louis coming up to pitch in the majors. This guy can't fucking pitch. His name's Louis. But 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run against the Padres. Good. 4 2/3, 7 hits, 4 earned runs against the White Sox at the White Sox. That's not great, but his name's Louis, so you'd accept that. And then 6 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs against the New York Yankees at the Yankees. That's a great start. So I lean to the Cubs for sure. Twins aren't hitting righties this month either. Cubs are just average, pass, but definitely lean towards the Cubs.
Well, first of all, I have to defend all the Louis I've ever met because all of them have been really, really nice guys. But I will say there was kind of an implied undertone to that, and they all have been really goofy. So I would assume I've never seen a Louis play sports, even though I've known them in life and friends and business. But they've all been people you don't think would be a good starting pitcher. So maybe there's something.
Yeah, Louis C.K. is not a good starting pitcher.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. I'll tell you what. There are we all have our reasons for not liking or not doing things in sports betting, or not liking a team or not betting a team. I'm annoyed with Minnesota fans of every ilk, every single sport. Nothing. It started with the Wild. Nothing was more annoying than Vikings fans that said they were the best team in the NFL last year. The Twins, they're unfortunately an innocent victim of my ire for Minnesota teams at the moment, which might go away. So I don't bet Minnesota teams, and I also don't like when Stroman throws. Someone said in the chat he doesn't get run support. I either fade him or I look the other way. I saw this game and I spent about 15 seconds thinking about whether I should go any further, and I didn't. So I have no information for you.
Oh, thank you. No, that's the best cap we've had on the show all day so far. Okay. I like that. I like that information there, Dave. And I'll say this, the run support thing is right. It's actually quite funny if you look at his last 3 starts. He's lost 4 straight games in a row, but he's had 0 run support, like we're about to show here. Lost 1-3, lost 1-2, lost 2-3. So I'm passing. I'm going to watch, but I definitely lean that way. I also don't like Marcus Stroman as well, so I just pass. And shout out to Louis, by the way. And by the way, ASDF, Asdf girlfriend's name Louis. So shout out to Louis there. Let's move on. And I hope that you have a dog or something so you can praise her for being a mother, ASDF. Maybe you've got kids. I don't know. Shout out to her. Let's talk about your. By the way, I finally figured out what fucking graphic I was missing. I was missing one graphic the whole time, and I just figured it out. Astros White Sox, no graphic because I guess I forgot it. Hunter Brown versus Lucas Giolito. This game screamed under to me here as well. Hunter Brown, competent, good young pitcher, coming off a kind of a rocky start. 4 1/3, 9 hits, 4 earned runs at the Los Angeles Angels. Maybe he was just smoking too much LA weed. Who knows? Dave, you Southern Californians, you guys just infecting the Utes that come out there. That's what the Texas people would like to have you believe. And then Lucas Giolito, who he's pitching to get the fuck out of there. I can feel it. I faded him the first couple of starts, and then I looked at his contract and I was like, oh well, no wonder he's pitching well. This is his free agent year. This is his walk year. I've been saying this almost every time, and for a lot of teams could really use a Lucas Giolito, a motivated, competent starting pitcher. Not last year's Lucas Giolito, who sucked ass and I faded frequently, but he's just on a shit team, so I can't really back him anytime because the White Sox are poverty. They're the worst team. They're the worst team in the league that's not actively trying to sell and move their franchise to another place like in Major League or whatever. So. I can't stand this White Sox team. I want to bet the under here. Dave, what do you think about it?
Yeah, another game that I should have a play on it, but I don't. Giolito's a guy. He has the Greinke splits. Great at home, bad on the road, or at least this year. Yesterday was a very clear. If you looked at what the line was telling you, which I don't do too much, but it shouldn't have been as low as it was. The White Sox were the play yesterday. Problem is the Astros are great at home, and after sort of a banal showing yesterday, this is a team that's too good not to show up again. So I have reasons for betting both sides. I see there's a Giolito K prop in there. I didn't look at that angle. Maybe that's it, but I'm not going to force anything in this game. It's a pass.
I wrote down first 5 under 4 minus 120. We'll come back to it, and we'll see if I make it official there because I didn't think there's going to be much action for me on this card, but who knows? We're finding some stuff, finding some angles. My least favorite game on the card, Dave. I can say that with a nice bullet point. Jordan Lyles versus Colin Ray. I want nothing to do with this ball game. Both these pitchers are terrible, as I'm on my French kick today, huh? Jordan Lyles has an impressive streak. I think the streak is something along the lines of like most consecutive starts giving up 4 earned runs and losing. And I don't know why. Well, I do know why. He's just there to eat innings and shit. But I don't know why that we just keep doing this. I'm very interested if he could chase the streak put up by what was the guy's name? I think it was Paulo Espino last year. Just no wins for the whole year, basically.
Wasn't he on the Nationals? Was he on the Nationals?
Yes, he was on the Nationals, and I'm pretty sure he actually got a win in his last start too. That asshole.
Johan Adon was the other guy at the beginning of the season that lost every single game. Maybe that was the guy you're thinking of, but yeah, it's the fucking Nationals. Anyway, go ahead.
It's all the same. It's all those. Where is my guy Johan Adon? By the way, he was not horrible. So shout out to him.
He was awful.
Well, apparently the Royals, by the way, this month are hitting righties at 123 weighted runs created clip. I don't believe that. I think there's some statistical like there's windy. They just face some shitty righties. I don't believe that, so I pass this game. Like I said, maybe lean towards the over, but like I said, I don't believe the Royals bats are actually good.
No, and this is another spot that I wanted to get on, but I couldn't. Here's a little thing for you. Lyles is the second least profitable pitcher, first 5 in the major leagues this year. Obviously look at 0-6, even though, records don't matter as much. He sucks. But the Brewers, I'll tell you what, the Brewers are another team. When I get involved, I got to be really in tune. Probably over the past 2 or 3 years, the most overvalued team with lines. You're getting minus 130s and minus 140s when it should be, almost even money a lot of the times. This is a hard pass for me too. But watch out for Lyles and find good fade spots. But I'm not betting the Brewers at minus 165. Screw that.
No, thank you. I agree with you. The Brewers definitely have a lot of White Sox in them.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Phillies, Rockies here. Nola versus Freeland. Another pass game for me that I was just not particularly interested in, but I'll tell you, it's absolutely dogger pass here. And I've said this every time there's a big total here, and maybe I'm becoming a broken record. Shout out to Pete. I'd taken Rockies minus 1.5 in this game if I'm taking it. Again, high totals typically lead to high variance, and you can particularly win by more runs in high variance games. And if you're going to take it, you could take, I don't know what it is. I haven't looked at the price, but I'm sure it's like a plus like 300 at the very least for a Rockies minus 1.5 here. And I know Nola's been up and down this year, free agent year for him too. And, everyone thought that he would come out guns a-blazing, but I don't trust it. And the Phillies have been the worst hitting team against lefties this month. 51 weighted runs created plus and 121 plate appearances. Freeland's been good in spots for sure this year. Not as consistent as I'm sure he would like, and not as consistent as I'm sure people that are backing him would like. But 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs. I guess obviously it's against the Pirates, who suck right now, but that's quality. He beat the Brewers before that. The Brewers are, I guess, the worst hitting team against lefties, so that's also not kind of surprising. And then he did okay against the Arizona Diamondbacks after that, or before that, I should say. So I like the Rockies here. I'm honestly considering making the 1.5 part of my card just to put my money where my mouth is. But as of right now, it's just a pass.
What's funny is that's something else I have in my baseball system is high scoring games or expected high scoring games have a much higher propensity to cover run lines. I never looked at the reverse run line though. That's kind of a
Loshakism, right?
Yeah, that's actually brilliant. But that's shout out to Pete. He's a brilliant guy. This is my favorite game of the day, which is crazy.
Oh.
Just look at this and say. So you have two things. One is you have Aaron Nola, he's like Blake Snell. You fade him in the beginning of the season. His team doesn't win for him or even want to play. And all of a sudden at the end of the season, he's legitimate and bet on maybe even. So that's just what's happened for me. But more importantly, when you get into that list of profitability for pitchers in the first 5, even though you look at a 3-4 record, I think he's 3-1-3. Kyle Freeland is the 8th most profitable pitcher, first 5. Granted, that's because Colorado's getting those big plus lines, but with both of those two very strong pieces of my MLB cap, I'm going with Colorado first 5 money line, and I got it at plus 145.
Dave, I'm going to join you on that because I was just looking at that as well as a little double up. By the way, JPZ mentioning that there's a chance of rain in this game, and that would really brutalize me. I did double check the weather to see there was none so far, but I want to double check again. And on the RotorWire, it is saying rain, so let's fucking hope it's at least at the beginning of the game. And by the way, Craig Wood's saying it's not going to go. So you know what? If it's not going to go, then I'm not going to be worried about it. Then I'm going to make the bets, and if it doesn't go, it doesn't go. So Rockies first 5 money line and Rockies minus 1.5 there. The price is a little disappointing at only a plus 230. But I'll take the plus 230 and plus 135 for me, first 5 money lines there. I did not expect the Rockies double up to not start my card, to be on the card, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So let's talk Texas Oakland next. Heaney versus Rosinski. I still don't know how to say his name. And when he gets a major league win, maybe I'll know how to pronounce your name. Andrew Heaney has been, again, it's one of those guys that if you bet him on the right day, you're like, yeah, this guy's going to win a Cy Young. Hell yeah. And then there's other days you bet him, you're like, well, I want to kill myself now. Why did I do this? This is the worst decision I've ever made. Against the Seattle Mariners, a team that's not really hitting lefties all that well. 6 2/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. Not what you want. Again, against the Arizona Diamondbacks before, 4 2/3, 6 earned runs there. Honestly, Oakland team total or Oakland in some way or pass for me. I think they've just been good against lefties this whole year. They're 6th full season against lefties, 116 weighted runs created plus, and this month 11th, 123. Absolutely Oakland for me here. We'll see if I can make something official here. I'll look at some prices and etc. But might be a little bit of a dog day on this getaway days, and we're betting the home team, which makes me feel a little better. But What do you think here, Dave?
Yeah, I think on both sides it's kind of like you're playing the guessing game on when the best time to bet him is. Andrew Heaney, and I know him because he was an Angel. He did what all pitchers do. He bounced around, then he went to the Dodgers, had a great year, and then he went away, and he's the same shitbag that he was before. That's what he is. He's a shitbag, and I don't bet him. I fade him unless he goes back to the Dodgers, and I'll bet him every fucking game. I can't believe that. I mean, I don't know what it is in the water. And Chavez Ravine, although that water is recycled and gross in LA. I know. I've drank a couple glasses of it. Yep, I was there. Oakland, on the other hand, has won 4 games at home. I don't know how you're betting Oakland. They're just waiting to get the hell out of that porta potty that they play in. I don't know how to say this guy's name either. This is not only a backwoods game. This is the pile of bear shit in the backwoods, this game. So, God bless you if you have a play in this game, but I could care less.
Oakland team total over 3.5 for me. Official there, -125. So juicy, not my favorite price. I could lay the -140 to put a 1.5 first 5 team total, but I won't be doing that with the Oakland A's. So yeah.
When that team goes over, it's the other team. I mean, I was just looking at their last 5 or 6 games. This is I don't know.
It's gonna be
the worst game of the season.
I'm not gonna watch it because blackouts, but it'll be a fun game. I'll tell you that. It's also very funny to me whenever the Oakland A's play at home. Any replay they show of a home run, all you see in the background is sell the team, all the banners. Makes me chuckle every time. Let's talk the Battle of Los Angeles semi here. Padres, Dodgers. I keep saying it. Ever since that Clayton Kershaw thing, I just don't wake up the Dodgers, dude. Just don't do that. They're gonna beat your ass now every game. And Ryan Weathers on the bump, the Catman, Tony Gonsolin on the bump. I don't particularly like either one of these pitchers, and I still say Dodgers, but -175 probably an appropriate price. So this is a pretty easy pass here for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was on Dodger Yerfees there for I don't know a couple weeks, and it was hitting. It just seemed like, and actually it was the other team scoring first and then winning the game. Sort of a backwards approach to it. The thing that confuses me, and I'm not paying. I don't bet the Dodgers hardly at all. You never get good value. But the thing that confuses me is you have 2. I mean, by the numbers, 2 decent starting pitchers. By the numbers, 2 above average bullpens, and this totals at 9.5. I lean to the under, but there's a reason why it's there. When something's fishy and I can't figure out that it's fishy because it's wrong, it might be fishy because it's right. So I'm off of this. I lean to the full game under.
Beautiful. Lean full game under. Yeah, in this series, whenever these 2 teams play, it does seem very under.
Yeah. So I might get on that. It's not official play, but I might be betting that. So
beautiful. Let's talk Giants, Diamondbacks here, and Brandon Pfaadt has been a trial here for me because I thought the Diamondbacks were becoming a smart organization and saying, you know what? Let's let go of Madison Bumgarner. He's horrible. He's off ranching now, doing whatever. And we're going to bring in a young pitcher that we believe in, Brandon Pfaadt. I was like, all right, this guy might have his shit. He gets crushed his first start. Do you think he's going to bounce back? Yeah, sure. Gets crushed again. So I'm done with Brandon Pfaadt here. I'm all set. Logan Webb, I like. He's actually one of my favorite pitchers, low-key to watch. But he's definitely one of those guys where I watch him hit, and like, how are people hitting this guy? Like, everything he does moves, but he just keeps getting crushed. And crushed relative, like for a stretch there, it was just like 3 earned runs in seemingly every appearance that he's made this year. So I like the Giants here. I would take him -1. He's had 2-3 now good starts in a row. Obviously, like I said, I like Brandon Webb. So Giants -1 would be my play here, but I'm not making anything official on this one.
Yeah, me neither. I love Logan Webb too. He's actually come off. I know what stretch you're talking about. He's given up 2 or less each of his last 3 or 4 starts. I was just looking and I have a different screen up. But I can't get this series right. I've had some bets. Forget what I had. Or I think I took a live bet yesterday with the Diamondbacks. I have to go look it up. But either way, this and Fat or however you say his name, he sucks. Or at least he looks like he does. I mean, give him some time. But not when there's other games to bet and NBA on. This is a game that's next.
Oh, there's NBA on tonight?
Today.
Oh, yeah. There is NBA on tonight, huh? Yeah. Interesting. Maybe I'll go look and see what game's on tonight. Giants -1, -107 is interesting to me. I will admit it. And I'm going to write it down, and we'll see if I end up being on it. But I like I said, I think Logan Webb is one of my favorite pitchers in the league to watch at the very least. And Giants against righties have been good, a little worse more recently, but we'll see how it all that
His
goes.
Out prop might be a thing because he usually goes pretty deep in games. He gets into the 7th inning quite a bit, so I don't know where that's at, but
I'll write that on Rick J. I'll keep that in mind. The minus the first 5 there. So shout out to you there, Rick J. Thank you. All right, last game on the slate, and obviously the game that I really wanted to talk about. Dave, is there a worse feeling in professional sports than having a closer come in and you know immediately that he doesn't have it? There's not a worse feeling. There's nothing that I can describe it. It's like you've got a blind man just driving your car and you're in the passenger seat and you're just holding on for dear life. You're like, I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is that if someone gets on, we're going to steal second base and this guy's going to drive off the road like some fucking drunkard. And that is unfortunately what Kenley Jansen has become here the last 2 days. He got his 400 save and said, fuck it, I'm good. I'm good for the rest of the year, I guess. I don't know. It's a little annoying, especially because the Red Sox, and of course I had the Red Sox -1 in both games, obviously. And he blows both. And I also have Red Sox to make the playoffs. And it also, unfortunately, puts them in last place in the American League East. And it kills one of my favorite jokes. Fucking Kenley. All that to say here, I like the Red Sox again. They should have won both games. Kenley's not going to pitch today. I can very safely assume. The Cardinals are just, I don't know, they're not getting lucky because they work the counts. They'll get all that shit. But at the very least, I think they win tonight. I'm just not betting them again because I am going to blow my fucking brains out if they blow another lead and I'm on the -1.
I'm on for the full game, obviously -1.
Yeah.
I if I bet this game, it would be Cardinals first 5. I think there's a reason why they're a favorite here. Miles Mikolas was a bet on guy for me last year. This year, he's definitely been suspect, but you have two. I like to look at home and road splits. Miles is better on the road. Kluber's worse at home, quite a bit worse at home. Stay off game for me. But I like the first 5 Cardinals. And by the way, not to backtrack. I was just looking at something. I am going to officially bet that Padres-Dodgers under. I can't get away from it. So anyway, I don't have a bet in this game. I lean first 5 Cards. Good luck with your full game Red Sox bet.
I don't know if I'm not going to make it official. I'll tell you that. I'll obviously have money on the Red Sox because I'm a stupid degenerate fuck. But I don't want to make that an official play, give that out to the people because I am simply not confident enough in it. And I don't want to bring everyone down to the abyss with me. The Red Sox abyss it's a deep one. It's a deep one. All right, Dave. We've been amicable this whole show. We've been just nothing but nice. We've been talking drug rugs. It's been a lovely show. We're going to recap our plays here. And then I'm going to call you a big fat dummy for liking the Lakers and all that good stuff. So I think we can both agree on all these things. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the deal. So you, and shout out to all the Boston fans or whatever. That's fine. But Jason Tatum is the most overrated basketball player in the NBA. I don't mean he's bad. He's good. He's not a top 10 player. You're seeing what's happening. He doesn't show up. Jaylen Brown is much more of a dude. I like Jaylen Brown. I like Al Horford. I think Marcus Smart's hair is stupid, but he's a good player too. Jason Tatum is not the dude everyone thinks he is. That's all I got to say. Amen.
Okay. First team all NBA. I'll take it. It's 2 times now.
Overrated.
2 times. I'll take it. All right, Dave. Let's get into the plays because I fucking hate the Lakers and I have a basketball game to sweat out extremely today. And I have a chest to get chopped here soon. My white ass chest is going to become red here very soon. A lot of plays written down I have, and one actually already started. It was the first 5 under in Los Angeles, Cleveland there. It's 0-0 still top of the second, so that's nice. Just making it through one game, but I got that at -130, so that kind of sucks juice-wise. But at least it's going well so far. I can't hate it. We're also on – I can't believe I'm going to do this one. I can't – this is going to be an interesting day. Dave, a very interesting day. I'm sweating already. Orioles -1 +126. I'm crossing out that because I'm not betting the Angels anymore. Atlanta Braves team total over 4.5 -115. Official there. The under full game under in Seattle, Detroit under 8.5 -120. So hold on. I'm trying to make my shit make sense here, guys. I apologize. I'm figuring this all out on the fly. So Baltimore, the under that I've got currently going, Atlanta 4.5, the under in Detroit. I'm also taking, I'll take Giants first 5 with you guys. I'm not going to take the full game. I'm just going to believe in my guy, Logan Webb. Shout out to Nutflush Allen as well, because the Giants have been a little hot recently, and I know he's been making good money on them. So I'll take them -0.5, -110 there. And I'm taking my Rockies double up there, -1.5, +230, first 5, +135, and the first 5 under in Houston White Sox, under 4, -120. So sorry for the convolutedness of all that, but we got there at the end. Dave, what are you on?
Looks like I have 4 plays. I like the Rays Yankees first 5 over 4.5 at -115. I've got Detroit team total under 3.5 for the full game at -120. I convinced myself the Dodgers Padres full game under 9.5. And my favorite play, hope it doesn't get rained out, is Colorado first 5 money line. I got it at +145. Get it for whatever you can get it for.
Very interesting that I thought today of all days I was not going to have much action, and now I have the most action I've had in like 4 or 5 days. So
well, there you go.
Going to be fun sweating these games out. Dave, I appreciate you for waking up early in the AM with me, and debunking all your Mother's Day plans that I'm sure you've got planned out for you over there. I appreciate you. Please plug your social media, anything else you want to plug before I slander the Lakers.
No, that's fine, guys. Thanks. First of all, thanks to Jose for having me, but probably more importantly, thanks to the chat for being here on a Sunday night. And God bless you if you're on the West Coast. I know 8 a.m. isn't early for a lot of people, but for guys that do things on Saturday night or partake in any sort of beverages or substances, it's usually a day I like to sleep in, but I'll do this for Jose. I'll do this for PSR. It's awesome. Picks from Dave on YouTube and Twitter. I do videos on YouTube and live shows and Twitter and give out picks and all that. But I will give out my favorite play of the day for the NBA game is and I just forgot it. Oh, PJ Tucker over 4.5 points. He's in the last 4 or 5 games. If you're talking about a dude that needs to show up and play, a guy that has heart, unlike Embiid, unlike Ben Simmons, it's PJ Tucker. This is the time for him to shine. He plays 28 minutes a game in the playoffs. He needs 5 points. Give me that all day.
That is fucking hilarious that you just gave that. That's great. No, I love the bet, especially because I can picture it. Because PJ Tucker, we all know what he does. He's going to sit in the corner. He's going to wait. and wait. And it's what's the best about this series is now that I've watched like 4 76ers games in a row now, whatever it is. I've watched PJ Tucker so much. I know when the shot's going in. If he catches the ball, goes up smooth, it's going in. But if there's any kind of bobble, hesitation, if he catches the ball wrong, if he takes a dribble, he'll never make the shot. And it's
no, he's not. And Saturday said it. It's he's not a guy you want to look at offensively. That's why he's not on the floor. He's on the floor to piss people off and to turn the game to go from 5th to 6th gear. That's what he is there for. But he will fall. He will trip over 4.5 points. He has, and maybe this isn't the game, but for me and my cap and knowing the guy, if there's a game 7 and there's a guy that's going to show up and do something, it's PJ Tucker.
I like it. Honestly. What was the juice on that?
I need to look and see what I got it at. I don't even actually, you know what? It might have been even money.
That would be nice. Yeah, I'm honestly now going to consider betting that as well because that's just so funny. Because yeah, it's obviously like he'll hit a 3 and then get an offensive rebound and put it back up.
I got a -115, but
all right. Well, I like that pick, Dave. Thank you. I'm glad you didn't give out the 76ers because I would have never let you back on the show again. But I'll say this, Dave, if this 76ers series goes the way we think it's going to go and we have Celtics-Lakers in the NBA Finals, it's going to be war. It's going to be war.
Friday night, I gave it out. If he wants to do it, Nasty Nate, who you can talk to today. Yeah, we'll decide. We'll decide what it is. It's not going to be something, it's too crazy. Like I'm not putting a phallic symbol on myself. I'm not doing a tramp stamp. But I think it'd be funny because I don't have a tattoo. I think it'd be funny to get a portrait, like on my shoulder blade or something, or like him. Like imagine my ugly fucking mug on somewhere on Nasty Nate's body.
You're confident. You're crazy. I'd never do that. But I appreciate that. And by the way, a little breaking news as well. Fucking stupid ass John Morant went on Instagram Live again, holding another gun.
Fucking.
And the Grizzlies just suspended him again. So. Oh my God, that's so fucking funny. So shout to the NBA, man. MLB. This is why we love you. There's not much of this shit going on, so we focus on the ball, I guess. Thanks everyone for watching, Dave. Thanks for waking up with us. Say hey to us on social media. I'll be getting chopped today, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, whatever time that is locally for you guys. Thanks again for watching. All the people in the chat, Ranch, JPZ, Nunya, Sean Sullivan, D Mills, Burn One, Rocco, Saturated, Jimmy Gomez, Nunya, Rick J, Real Deal Prime, Craig Wood, Rick J, Jay Burns. I've said names like 3 times in a row, but that does not matter. Top Set, Christopher Commentini, all you guys, we appreciate it. See you guys again tomorrow, Monday. We all know Mondays are Spin Docs days. And maybe I'll be half of a human being after today's basketball game. 2:30 fucking Game 7? Who are you people, NBA? Who are you, NBA?